Andrew McAuliffe. Where/when in your journey out of Scientology did you realize the importance of the falsifiability of your beliefs about objective reality? What was the immediate result of that realization for you? I think it was around August or September of 2013, the year that I sort of realized that Scientology was not everything I thought that it had been. I'd gone down the internet rabbit hole, and then I was learning about critical thinking and this new idea called skepticism. And that was when I learned about certain, that was when I was first exposed to the concept of logical fallacies and rhetoric and how does this stuff actually work. And that was when I learned about, or relearned, I should say, about scientific method and the process. And that was where the falsifiability of information first kind of entered my sphere of thinking as a thing. I mean, I'd known about evidence-based reasoning and stuff before this, obviously. I mean, I went to school just like everybody else, but the importance of it and the idea that this applied to something like Scientology, and that you could, you know, if you didn't have evidence for something, then maybe the claims you were making weren't really worth so much. So when that started to dawn on me and I started restructuring my thinking and started adopting critical thinking as a more, you know, reasoned line of approach to how I should think about things, the immediate effects of that were to really get me thinking more critically about the claims of Scientology. That was, I think, when it first started dawning on me that the idea of a spiritual existence might not be so valid as I had thought that it was. I mean, even coming out of Scientology, I mean, you don't, it's not the sort of, that's not the kind of belief that you just turn on and off. You know, I had dedicated my whole life to this idea of an immortal spiritual existence. So it was not a belief that I was going to let go of very easily. But I would say that this idea of falsifiability of evidence or of information was sort of the first, you know, click of the key turning that would eventually open the door to me, you know, kind of throwing some of those beliefs out the door and turning them into what I've now described as hopes, not beliefs, right? I don't have a strong enough idea of a spiritual existence to say I believe it. It's just something I kind of hope would be real, and maybe at some point I'll have evidence of that. So I think that was the immediate effect that it had on me. And of course that led to many, many, many more effects as I thought about it more and more, and I've started applying that more and more and read more about critical thinking and science.